Cameroon's Hidden Revolution: How Workers, Women, and Youth Fought Colonial Rule. Cameroon, land of towering mountains, dense forests, and a fierce people who refuse to kneel. But beneath this landscape lies a stormy past carved up by European powers, silenced by bullets and shaped by rebellion. This is not just the story of politics and flags. It's the story of ordinary people, farmers, mothers, miners, and students who defied the empire. At the Berlin Conference in 1884, European powers sliced Africa like a birthday cake, and Cameroon was served to Germany. But after World War I, the German colony was split again, the French took the bigger slice, and the British a narrow strip along the west. Imagine one people, two systems, three flags. Confused. So were the Cameroonians. But the confusion stopped when it came to labor. Whether British or French, the colonial mission was clear: exploit the land and work the people to the bone. Cameroon's soil was rich in cocoa, timber, rubber, and the colonial economy ran on the sweat of its people. Forced labor wasn't just common, it was law. Railways like the Douala and Kongsamba line were built with broken backs. In the plantations of southern Cameroon, laborers worked 10-12 hours a day for pennies if they were paid at all. And when they protested, whips, imprisonment, or worse. But by the 1940s, the workers had had enough. Wildcat strikes began to spread in the ports of Douala, in the cocoa farms of Buea, and in the timber yards of Yaoundé. These weren't just about wages, they were a cry for dignity. Meanwhile, a new class was rising, the educated youth. Taught in colonial schools but dreaming beyond the empire, students began organizing debates, publishing underground papers, and linking their local struggle to global freedom movements. Inspired by Ghana's independence, Cameroonian youth demanded more than textbooks. They wanted change. They marched, they organized, and they weren't afraid to confront colonial administrators. In the French zone, many joined the UPC, Union des Populations du Cameroun, a nationalist movement demanding reunification and independence. The youth were its beating heart. And in the shadows of these struggles, women were fighting their own revolution. Colonialism meant double oppression, by race and by gender. But Cameroonian women, both in the rural and urban areas, found ways to resist. In the western regions, women's cooperatives secretly funded nationalist groups. In the markets of Bamenda and Douala, they organized boycotts against colonial traders. In villages, they passed messages, hid rebels, and even cursed colonial officers through traditional rituals. And in 1958, the women of Com launched the Anlo Rebellion, a mass mobilization where women shamed corrupt chiefs and resisted land seizures. It was loud, wild, and unforgettable. Colonial officers were terrified. They called it witchcraft, but it was grassroots feminism in action. The colonial state saw the growing unrest and cracked down hard. In 1955, the UPC was banned. Its leaders went underground. What followed was brutal. French soldiers burned villages, assassinated leaders, and waged a hidden war against their own subjects. UPC leader Ruben Omniobe, known as the Mpodol, the spokesperson of the people, was hunted like an animal. He preached unity between Anglophone and Francophone, Hutu and Bamileke, Christian and Muslim. For that, he was murdered in 1958. His body was left unburied to send a message. In 1960, French Cameroon gained independence. British Southern Cameroon followed in 1961, choosing to join the former French zone. But the independence was bittersweet. Ahmadou Ahidjo became the first president, but his rise was backed by the French. Former freedom fighters were sidelined, or worse. Many UPC rebels were hunted long after the flag was raised. Colonialism left, but its shadow remained in the form of elite domination, foreign dependence, and silenced dissent. Cameroon's road to independence was not a gift, it was earned through blood, song, and resistance. Not just by generals or presidents, but by women in markets, boys in classrooms, and workers in the fields. This is Untold Africa. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that textbooks forgot, but history remembers.